Is it true? Is it true that your business model is broken? Well, if it's not broken now, chances are in a couple months, coming in the new year, it might be broken. And this is why I want you to really listen to what we're talking about today is how do you go into a whole new era of business and make sure that your business is going to thrive and survive in some cases. Today, we're talking about how do you actually have a business model that you can count on that will work year after year after year. And we're going to talk about what is the science behind this and what is the art behind this. And then, because of where we are in the year, I'm going to show you exactly how you could revamp and revitalize your entire business model without even breaking a sweat. So, this is what we are doing for Iconic TV today. So, get ready, and here we go. This is a fun topic. It's a short topic, but it's an important topic. And we are talking about the foundation of your business. A lot of people get into business and they're so excited. They have big dreams and they want to make a big impact. But then shortly afterwards, they're like, wow, I'm not making any money. I'm working too hard. I'm overworked. I'm overwhelmed. And I never see my family. And so, what we're doing today is we're going to show you how to scale that business from 6 figures to 7 figures in a year or less without that stress, struggle, and overwhelm. And we're going to show you how to do it without spending any more money on the marketing or advertising, because for a lot of business, that's really what is breaking them. And this is a fun topic. I want to dive into it and get ready because I have some really awesome surprises for you as well. Okay, so we are talking about fixing your broken business model and how does that look? Because for a lot of people, it is broken. In fact, here's the interesting thing. A lot of people have had a broken business model for a while, and they've been limping along trying to make it work, and it's not working. And sometimes you have to just stop. You got to cut the cord, and you have to say, wait a minute, I need to revamp and revitalize my business model. That's exactly what we're going to do today. So let's dive into this because I want to talk about this first quote, and this is what I want you to think about. Why are people limping along in a business model that isn't taking them where they need to be? And where should you be? So let me give you our standard of excellence. And if you've been in business for 3 years or more, you should be crossing that $1 million mark. If you haven't, then there's something wrong with your business model. And I want you to understand that regret stems from lack of effort and not from lack of results. What does that mean? That means that if you're not really doing the things that you need to do, you're going to be disappointed. Sometimes you think, I can get by, I could just get away with this. You really can't. Okay. So you have to put the effort in. Guess what? Building a wonderful big business is hard work. It is simple, but it is hard work. And if you think you're going to get there easy, you have another thing coming. So I want you to understand that you're going to have to put some work into this, but I promise you, you won't regret a single moment of doing that because it really does pay off. It feels great when you overcome a hurdle or you accomplish something or you break through a bottleneck. And that's really what we're going to talk about today. I want to let you know, because of the holidays, we've been telling you about this for a while, and it is Black Friday time. And this is exactly why we're talking about getting you a new business model. Because what if I could give it to you? What if I could hand it to you on a silver platter, the entire business model that you need? And what if we built it for you without you breaking a sweat? That is our Black Friday offer. I want you to go and check it out, theiconicleader.com/wait. Make sure you put the www in there, okay? What if you could revamp and revitalize your business model and you didn't have to lift a finger to do it? We did everything for you. That would be kind of cool, right? Now, that's what I call a gift. So I'm going to show you what kind of model you need. And then if you think I do need a new business model, great. Check out our Black Friday offer. Get on the wait list right now. Obviously, because it's so huge and there's so much done for you, there's very few people that will be able to take advantage of it because I don't have a lot of bandwidth. You'll be working with me to design your perfect business model, and it is going to be awesome. I promise you, it'll blow away everything out there. All you have to do right now is get on the wait list, and you will be first to be notified on Black Friday. And it's going to go through till Cyber Monday. Okay. So I want you to understand that the mechanistic models are minimalizing your profits and your prospects. Okay. So those are the things that is dwindling. Are you feeling it? Are you realizing I'm working really hard, but I'm not making the money I used to? I'm working harder. I'm not getting the good clients like I used to. And even your team is not really there. So yeah, so let me know. Is this making sense? Give me some thumbs up. Let me know. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling. This mechanistic model is what's been happening to a lot of businesses. And what does that mean? That means most people have taken a mechanism and turned it into a project which became their whole business. A mechanism might be emails, a mechanism might be webinars, a mechanism might be challenges. Okay. They're taking one mechanism and making that their whole business. That's not a business. That is a project, right? You've heard of project managers. Well, managers never get in the C-suite. If you're wondering why you're so overwhelmed, because you've mechanized your business, you've just focused on a thing instead of the entire business. When you focus on the entire business and you can see all the different layers of that business, then you understand your role. If you've mechanized it, you are trying to be the chief cook and bottle washer and everything else. That is why people are getting overwhelmed. And if that makes sense to you, I want to show you this, okay? So what we're saying here is out with the old and in with the new, right? So you might feel bifurcated, right? There's part of you that like is clinging to just whatever will work, and there's another part of you that says, I have got to do something new, right? And you might come across what's called a strategic inflection point. And this will happen. This is what I was talking about, the science. Here's the science. There's the law of three. And this happens. It's almost like a bewitching period, or for those of you who are very spiritual, might feel like Mercury rising or something, or retrograde. It's going to feel like, why is everything falling apart? Has anyone ever felt that way? I know we did. A couple of years ago, we went through a strategic inflection point, and I was ready to just like pack it all in and go. I was like, this is too hard. What happens is every time you triple, okay, you're going to find that you're at a strategic inflection point, and it's got to be out with the old and in with the new. And you can't keep hanging on to what you're doing to get to where you want to go. So maybe you were at 30,000, then you hit the $100,000 mark, right? And it's like, oh God, nothing is working. I got to change it. Now you're at 100,000, you get to 300,000. Everything is going to be different again if you want to keep growing. That mark from 250 to 300 is the biggest graveyard for entrepreneurs in business ever. And it's so hard for them to let go of something. And then as you try to scale, is anyone saying, oh, I'm going to scale? Well, by the way, you're going to scale once you're in the 100,000s or millions, not when you're at 40 or 50,000. So don't even think you're trying to scale at that level. This is why we talk about 6 figures and scale it to 7 figures. That's when you're really going to be focusing on that. And if you are doing it wrong, you're going to feel overwhelmed. The business is going to crumble. Because what happens when you triple from that 6 figure and you get into around the $300,000-$400,000 mark? It feels like in order to scale, you're putting all this money in and effort in, and you're hiring teams and you're doing all this stuff, and you are making so much less money. You're probably making less money than all your employees. And your business isn't as profitable. There's a way out of that. If you've ever gone through that, it's a really, really scary place. It really is a danger zone. So we need to figure out, what are we getting out of and what are we stepping into? And so here's the difference. If you're wondering, am I in or approaching a strategic inflection point in my business, which means it's time to flip your model. You need almost a grand renewal of everything. Okay. So Watch closely. Those of you who are feeling like the pinch is coming, you're working hard, you're making less, the clients aren't as good, the market is oversaturated, you've probably got into this side here of problem solving, right? And you became the problem solver for everything. And that is not your role as the CEO. There are other people who should be doing some of that. You should be on the other side of that, and that's the solution generator. You should be the visionary. You should be thinking, okay, what else do I need to do? I need to have this happen and this happen. And you're creating these solutions, and people are filling that in. But most people, especially if you're under six figures or just barely over six figures, you're behaving like a problem solver, right? That's so old fashioned. That's so 2024. Okay. 2025, you have got to be the solution generator. That's got to be your whole focus, right? We talk a lot about our SOAR formula, SOAR. Each one of those 4 steps is part of that. And that S is that solution generator. That's the first step you have to be, right? You've got to get out of being the problem solver. That's a very pedestrian role. And so what happens if you're still stuck in that is, in that problem solver mode, all your energy is focused there. Like 75-85% of your time is focused on problem solving, and you have very little time for looking at the solutions. And so what you want to do is flip that. Okay, we're always talking about flipping the script. We're very disruptive here, but that's how we scale businesses from 6 to 7 figures really quickly. And so what you're doing now for the new era is you're going to be focused all on the solution. 75% of your time or more, at least 2/3, should be on solution. You've got to be generating solutions for what you want to accomplish, and very little of your time is going to be spent on the problem. And you will love me for this, because problem solving isn't fun. But solution finding, being the visionary, having these ideas, not so many, not shiny object syndrome, that's what's going to make you money. This is part of this new model that we're talking about. But how does the average CEO feel about their day? Like a fireman, right? Like, you're all strapped up with all this equipment, and you are going in to your office, to your business every day, putting out fires. That is a really hard way to run a business. This doesn't work, but most people are doing it. That is that problem solving mentality that we've got to get rid of. So what do we have to do? How about you need a new model? So this is what I want to share with you. And this is our Black Friday offer for you. So if you want to stop putting out fires, I want you to take a look at this. And what we are doing here is giving you everything that you need. We're going to build your business model for you without you breaking a sweat. And if you could imagine, you could get everything wrapped up in a perfect bow, and you had the perfect business model for you, done for you, designed for you, and exactly matching your own personality, your style, and everything else. That's exactly what we are talking about today. So if you want that Black Friday offer, there are only a handful. I would say less than 2 handfuls, because it's very customized, right? When you go to a store or to a restaurant, isn't it much better when you go to a 5-star restaurant and they serve you and they put the napkin on your lap and you have the fine china and the glasses that actually clink, right? That kind of full service is what we should have every day. And it's also what we should have in our business. So that's what we're going to give you guys for Black Friday. We haven't opened the doors yet, but you can still be knocking on the door, and I will have an email out to you as soon as Black Friday hits. So we're not doing it early. I just go ahead and look at all the other little things. This is going to be the whole enchilada of everything that you need to have the right business model in 2025. Okay. And we're going to start right away. Don't worry. And here's the thing. Elon Musk talks about this all the time. Risk taking is the key. You cannot play big business safely. You've got to take risks. I mean, again, look at Elon Musk. We love him or hate him. The man is a genius when it comes to business, and he doesn't look around and see if he could get permission, or is everybody doing this? What's everyone else doing? How's everybody else price their stuff? No, he says, hey, this is what I'm going to do, right? Solution generating. You see how this is? So, yes, you do need to model some of the greats and not the followers. Don't follow the followers. It's not going to work. If someone hasn't built and designed and generated something that you want to achieve or gone that way before, get out of that lane and get into the fast lane. Business should be built fast. And in order to build a business fast, guess what? You have to be very focused. So, if you don't know me very well yet, I grew up in Germany, in München. Any Germans out there? Hello. Where we have beer and brats and beamers and all of that kind of stuff. Well, we also have the Autobahn, which is really awesome. And it's a freeway with no speed limit. So you can be going 160 miles an hour. And do you know there's fewer accidents there than there are on American highways? And do you know why? Because you can't do anything else. You can't be putting on your makeup. You can't be texting. And you can't be playing with the radio when you're going 160 miles. You are purely focused on one thing. And that's how we build businesses. So when I ran a racing company, that's where I learned the majority of how to go really fast in business. I understood little precision things that needed to happen. I understood when to take a pit stop, right? It's called boxing, right? And the chief engineer is saying in your ear, box, 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 which means pit. Right? You've got to fix things. So remember I talked about that 3-year cycle, not 3 years, every tripling really. That's boxing, right? You got to box, you got to switch, you got to get a new model. In racing, they would get a new driver and switch out drivers when we're there for the 24-hour Le Mans. So you have to think in a different way about your business going forward, or you're just going to fall apart, right? You want to win the race, whether it's, sports or whether it's biblical. There's always sayings that run in such a way as to win the race. And that's how we do business, right? You can go slow, but it's boring going slow. So when we talk about the business model, I just want to share with you, these are the 10 signs that you are doing a bad business model. Maybe you're relying too heavily on those old outdated models for business. You have this like one size fits all. Everybody gets this one thing. That's not singularity. That's called stupidity, right? You have to keep changing. And a lot of people get stuck on one thing and they focus on features and benefits. Oh, come on, that's so 1980. So you got to move beyond that. There's a lack of digital presence and people aren't advancing as fast as the technology is. Not that you have to go that fast, but you have to get off the fax and the beeper era. And people are ignoring AI and automation. It's like, oh, get to it. It's too new. It'll come around. Nope, that's not how you need to think about that. Okay. And a lot of people also, they're just resistant to change. They're like, I don't want to do that. And we call that in our SOAR model. That's how we scale businesses, right? You're in attachment. That's the A in SOAR. And you're stuck on the old things. Guess what? The old things will not take you forward into the future. So a lot of people ignore client feedback and like, no, this is how we do it. And we don't need those people, or they don't notice that the market is shifting, and then they don't give a great client experience. And then they're just like everybody else. They're just like a bunch of sheep following each other. And you've got to differentiate. And then the biggest thing I think that a lot of people are going through is honestly, like, they're totally afraid. Like, I don't know if I should do that. I don't know if it'll work. Well, there's models, right? So when we build out the perfect business model for you, imagine before you take any step, you will know exactly what that step is going to produce, because that's why people get scared. They're like, I don't know if it'll work. What if you absolutely knew with certainty that what you want to try is going to work? Then it'd be a no-brainer, right? Otherwise, you're just driving in the fog. Remember, the right model gives real money. The wrong model is a real waste. So are you in the right model? So let's look at the 10 things really quickly. What you do need to have in your business to have the right model. First, you want to leverage the AI tools and look at these. This is so important, right? How much the market has changed and the growth, it is so fast, we can't even keep up with it. In fact, companies aren't even investing in a lot of these AI companies because every 3 months things are obsolete and they're not going to have the growth. Companies are going out of business because there's so many new innovations coming. What does that tell us? It tells us we need to keep growing. And in the new business model, you don't need more people. A couple years ago, people were always telling business owners, keep hiring, keep hiring, keep hiring. You don't have to do that anymore. You can automate and then you can rely on the data, and then you can have more content without more cost, because that's so important. So again, I want you to have that. I want you to have what these next 9 steps are going to be. That's number 1, but I want you to have all of that. That's our Black Friday offer. We will do it for you. We will build out the exact model for your business in a box, right? Everything you need to do, how to do it, when to do it, everything is done. How to know if it's going to work, how to make sure it matches you and your thing. You're not going to have a cookie cutter model. It's not going to be like everyone, completely customized and bespoke. And if you've never had a business like that, if you just kind of got into business thinking, I'm just going to try this, and you keep switching and you fall for all these shiny objects and you're spinning plates, guess what? That time is over. That's last year. Okay. Now it's time to be singularly focused in that fast lane and keep driving forward, not sideways. Don't go wide. You're going to go forward, right? Is this making sense to you? So it's so easy when you understand the concept and why you weren't succeeding and what it does take to succeed. So also brand. I've been saying this, the year of the brand, the year of the brand, the year of the brand. It's the year of the brand. If you don't have a brand that's going to distinguish you, if you don't have your pages optimized, if you don't have it tailored to your audience, if things aren't customized, if you are not tapping into organic, if you're still trying to kind of muscle your way through just by spending $50,000, $100,000 a month on ads, that can work. It can accelerate, but you know what happens? Look at anybody who's been doing that over the last 3 years. They're all running to organic now. And we've been doing organic since the beginning. When we went from nothing to $1.4 million in 9.5 months, it was 100% organic. And if you can do organic, you have longer stay with your clients and you make more money, you make more profit. So when most people are making 10, max 30% profit, we were making about 80 and up. So imagine that, okay? It's a big, big difference in your bottom line. And how does that happen? It happens by getting really focused on your brand. We are brand experts. That's why we're called the Iconic Brands. That's our parent company. And you also have to personalize things. How do you do that? A great way to do that doesn't cost you a cent, which brings you tons of clients, is by doing a survey, getting out there and connecting with your audience, asking them the specific needs that they have, finding out what their preferences are, where they're going, tailor it, right? Everybody loves a custom suit, right? So this is a custom made jacket just for me, so it fits like a glove. That's how you want your business to be. Is it more expensive? Yes, but then you are charging more, but you're also getting better clients. So if you're not personalizing, now you want to start doing that. And then you want to focus on high value services. This, minimalist era of $40, $90, $250, $900. You realized, didn't you, that it didn't take you anywhere. It took you around the merry-go-round a lot, but it never got you up. It didn't get you on a rocket ship. And that's what you need going forward, because guess what? A lot of companies are going to be left in the dust. They're not prepared. They have old-fashioned models. If you don't have a way to offer premium services, definitely book a call and I will look at your offer for you within 10 minutes and I'll show you exactly if it is a thumbs up or a thumbs down on your model. Because maybe it's great, maybe one little thing that you need to tweak, but maybe it's time to throw the baby out with the bathwater, okay? But if you know that before you start the new year, that's really what you want to do. That's how you're going to have exponential growth in your business. See, once you scale, you have to do it without increasing fulfillment. This is where people get it wrong. They're like, okay, I'm going to scale now, and I'm going to do, done for you services like you do. But then they get so caught up in doing it all and they miss the boat. That's why a lot of people go for high ticket or they go for done for you and they crawl right back to low ticket because they didn't know how to run it. All right. This is what I'm talking about. Stop being mechanistic. Stop thinking just one thing, one mechanism. You need to look at the entire business. That's called an ease and plastic business, right? One who has the ability to bring all the disparate parts into one unified whole. That's how you build a business. It's easy, easy, easy if you know the rules and the criteria and if you have a framework, okay? Because you're building a huge company, I mean, $1 million companies, that's a lot. You have to have a simplified framework, not a complicated framework. And that's why we build them so fast. You also need to build a lot stronger relationships. People have no loyalty these days. And so how do you get it? We're going on our 6th year of clients. This year, just this month, clients are renewing now for the 6th year. Imagine that. If you could have high ticket business like that and they just stay and stay and stay because you genuinely connect with them, you build the trust. People love personalized services, right? If something fits you perfectly, why would you go anywhere else? That's what you need to deliver. Is this making sense for you guys? Because it is going to be the most critical thing on whether or not your business survives in the upcoming year is if you have the right business model and you're not modeled after a project or a mechanism. You need to be this. You need to be a lifelong learner. You're thinking that's not a business model. It absolutely is a business model. I personally spend at least 2 hours a day studying my craft to be better and better and better. Why? Because it works. Because all the billionaires do it. They all stop. Look at Warren Buffett. How many books does he read? How many hours a day does he spend? See, you don't have to really know a lot of things, but you focus on your craft. How can you be the best? So not only are you studying your craft, you are also studying the market, the competition, and the trends. And you're looking at cross industries. We do this a lot, right? We have 32 different industries. And when you cross pollinate ideas, it's very important. I come from a really strong corporate background and a 4th generation entrepreneur, and I can cross pollinate the best of running a corporation as well as running your own business. And that's what you have to do. You always have to stay on top of the trends and mesh them all, right? People say, what was going on with you, Connie? Why do you have a PhD in advanced theoretical physics and then you have a master's in theology? Those are two completely different things. My first degree was in design. But now when you look at how we build businesses, all of those are essential to knowing how to build a right business model. So that's what I mean. Be a constant learner and prolific original content. Don't just, copy templates and things. Be original. Put your message out there. What is your stand? What do you stand for? And why are you different? Why do you look at things just a little different? Why do you have a contrarian view from what everyone else is doing? That is what gets you ahead, right? Then you're in your own lane. You're in the fast lane. Everybody else is in traffic and they are stuck. So showcase all of your experience and your knowledge. Do it in different modalities. You really still have one singular focus, but you're putting it out there in all these different formats. And that's how you can scale it very quickly without being overloaded. And I hope you understand how important that is. Now, the next thing of these 10 things that you need to know in order to have your business model be perfect for the upcoming year is you need to utilize social proof. There is too much information out there. We are bombarded with it, right? And everywhere you go, there's new stuff. And it's so juicy and delicious. We can't help but just click on something. And an hour and a half later, we've gone down a whole rabbit hole. So if people are going to click, give them something click worthy. And one of the things that people want to know is, are you real? Are you human? Who are you? How can I trust you? Well, you can do that with testimonials, case studies, reviews that people have. Let them know that you are not just a one-hit wonder. You have depth to what you do and to your area. This is very important, and it needs to be at the forefront of what you're doing. But this is also something that we help you out with in our Black Friday offer. So stay tuned so you can see how to get that. And then I want to make sure we highlight this, that I want you to experiment with different marketing strategies, test different things, different channels. There's an awesome gentleman that I'm working with right now, and he has a product business. And, a lot of people aren't even talking about Whatnot. And that's like an online live auction for those of you with product businesses. Have you ever tested that before? Some people are petrified to go live. Some people are saying, I'm just going to do a podcast. Test little things, right? And if you're not sure, would this work for me? That's what I say the science is. And we have the science behind. We have a software called Iconosphere, and that will actually show you, where do I need to go? What do I need to do? How much should I invest in this line? How much should I go here? Is this market dead? Is this market too competitive? What's the TAM, right? The total addressable market. Am I going to make money in this, or has the fad passed? Imagine if you had the software to be able to understand all of those questions so that you didn't make any mistakes going forward. So you have to be a little creative, and then collaborate with other professionals. This is powerful. We do this a lot. And if you could partner with people who have complementary businesses, or people who have your client, and you can connect, and you can actually leverage the power of each other's business, it's magic. This is one of the things I did to scale my financial company. And for years, I didn't know how to do it. I just figured it out. If you Googled, the type of service we offered, we were number one on Google way back when. So these are things that you learn, right? And I wouldn't have learned it without one of my partners. And then it made me a fortune. So see how all of these are just another layer to build an entire business. Think of it like a flower or a rose, right? It's just a bud in the beginning. It's just like nothing. It's like under six figures, and it's just like, it's not opening. And then eventually it opens and it opens and it opens, and there's layers and layers. You can look at all of nature and you can see the spiral dynamic to it. And that's how your business is. It's just one business, one concept, one thing that you offer until you get to that million. And it has these layers, and it just keeps opening, or like an onion. I don't know if you want to have an onion and a flower in the same description, but your business shouldn't stink, right? It should be sweet. It should be awesome. And you shouldn't be overworking like everybody has been in this last year, because nobody was differentiating. They weren't taking the risk. They weren't willing to say, I'm going to step out a little bit. I'm not saying to jump off the ledge. I'm just saying at least stand on the ledge, okay? And make a difference. People need something different from you. So in the SOAR formula, and this is the formula that we use, I came up with this formula. I've used it on all my businesses. This is how I built 5 multi-million-dollar businesses from scratch using a 4-step method. It's such a simple formula, but the 4th step in SOAR, right, R, is to renew. And this is when you look at your business model. If you're wondering, is it time for me to switch, to get a new business model? Chances are it is. If you haven't pivoted a little bit in the last couple years, or you're noticing the pinch and you feel like you're getting squeezed out of profits and opportunity, then look at the 3 ways for you to do this. The R is renew. This is the time of the year when you should be doing this. Every Thanksgiving, what we do as a company, and me personally, is establish all of our outcomes and results for the next year. And that's what our Thanksgiving is about, right? Grateful for what happened, right? We look back and we reflect and we rest, and then it's time to renew. And how are you going to renew your business? You have 3 ways that you can renew your business. You can do it vertically, meaning you might say, hey, we're doing really good on this. Now we want to go into another vertical. Maybe you're working with a medical professional and now you want to work with home services or something like that. And the other way that you can renew and grow your business is internally. Maybe you've done really well with your core offer and your core people, but now you want to grow your internal team. Maybe you add more staff. This is one of our specialties in helping you, and you build a bigger internal team to reach a bigger TAM, a bigger total addressable market. And then there's external. Maybe you have everything running like clockwork because you've built the systems, and this is where we build systems in the R phase. And you're building the systems. That's what our iconosphere is. I'm giving you a hint about our Black Friday offer, right? And so then you want to maybe build externally. Like my thing is I love philanthropy for kids. And so that would be an external project, my external project of doing that. So when you have everything going, then you can go external. But these are the 3 different ways that you want to think about 2025. What am I going to do? How am I going to renew my business? And this is the time to stop and reflect and think, am I there? Did I hit a strategic inflection point where I feel I can't get any more out of this? I can't squeeze anything else out of what my model is, but I need to expand. And if you want to take a little risk without getting hurt, that's what we want to do for you. This is our Black Friday offer, and it's all about building you the right model. Let us do it for you. Don't try and guess and fail. Let us build your business model for you without you breaking a sweat. You just go here, theiconicleader.com/wait, because you have to wait. All good things are worth waiting for. And so is our Black Friday offer. We are not releasing it early, unlike other years. We always gave you a sneak peek. Now, because we can't do it for everybody, and we want to make sure that it's for the right person. All you have to do is go there. There's nothing to buy. Don't worry. I'm not even going to send you anything until Black Friday. So you're not going to get bombarded with all these things. It's super simple. Just go there. If you know this hit home and you need a new business model, just check it out. Just take a peek. Take a risk. Sign up there. Put your real email in there. We're going to have you, verify it. So I don't care about your spam. I don't want to do that. I'm just looking for people who are like me. Like, I love having $1 million businesses. If you want one, I want you to check out our Black Friday. Of course, you want to come back here every single Tuesday at 5 p.m. because that's when we do Iconic TV, give you all the strategies and the principles that you need to grow your business. And I want to end with what I started with. Regret stems from lack of effort, not lack of results. If you aren't willing to make an effort, that's when you're going to regret it. Like, gosh, I wish I could have done that. So don't complain about your results. Get mad at your lack of effort. So it doesn't take a lot of effort to go sign up for our Black Friday offer. And we hope you will be back here next week, 5 o'clock, and have a wonderful Thanksgiving, everybody. If you enjoyed this, put a comment down. Let me know that it was helpful to you. We put a lot of effort into this every week. And if you want to see it again, just type replay. And don't forget, you can always subscribe and come to our YouTube channel as well, ConnieScavella.com. And you can book a call at Call Connie as well. Have a happy Thanksgiving and be iconic.